Okay. How many people heard that I had a big secret that I was going to reveal here? Um, Thinking, do I want to tell you guys now? Okay, I'll tell you. Okay, so the first thing I want you guys to know is that there are a lot of media here. We have Q13, Guardian, CNN, and that was big for us to get all this media attention. So we're very ecstatic. We're sharing the platform because people have shared with us. Um, so I just want to acknowledge the camera crews that are here. If you do not want to be on camera, I'm going to ask you to walk away where you're not being filmed because I want to be on camera. I want my story out here. I called them here for a reason. And so if it makes you uncomfortable, please try to go around that, okay? But again, one of the great things that I have to tell you is that I recently did a report, and in the report, actually in all of my reports up until now, I've been really, really critical of the police department. I don't feel like the Camp Police Department is communicating properly with our family. I don't feel like they're doing all they can, and I just have issues with them. And you know, when you start not trusting one police department, it kind of rubs off to where you don't trust any police. And I found myself there. And it's never been my intent to downplay the police. I just want them to learn from the communication gap and fix it, and to not let this happen to any other families. I want them to communicate on a regular basis with the families, keep the families updated on important things like when you change detectives and things like that. So, that being said, I was pretty critical of them in a couple interviews, and now I really feel bad. Because I recently found out just days ago, actually I'll say Thursday to be exact, that there's a program, and from what I understand, I think it's called Homebound, I'm not sure, but the Washington State Patrol is a part of it, along with the local trucking company. We were looking for billboards. Billboards were like $5,000 to $10,000 before where you put them, and that's only for 30 days. So we kind of like, okay, it's going to take us a long time to get that money. And we just kind of put it to the side, like maybe that'll be our goal for next year's fundraiser. Well, I got a call, and some pretty amazing people are going to donate a truck to us. Wow. So instead of a billboard, and that's why I kept saying, if people ask for clues, it's huge. We're getting a huge truck, you know, like almost like the McDonald's and Walmart trucks, which is going to have Alyssa's face on the side. The last truck had Tika Lewis. And Tika is one of our families. My cousin and her dad are friends, her mom and I. We network a lot, so we're very, very excited. Like, they were hoping to have it done, but again, they didn't get in contact with me until Thursday. The truck we were hoping would show up here, but it was way too soon. So, but just knowing that we're getting it and it's coming. If you guys ever run across that truck, please send me a picture. I want you guys to tell that truck driver to honk and wave me down. Hey, that's our family, yeah, you know. So this is really, really huge for our family. And I'm hoping with this truck being mobile, it can go everywhere. So our word is going to go far and wide. So that was my big secret, and I hope you guys are excited as I am. I just feel so super blessed right now. This turnout is bigger than I dreamed. This truck, I mean, it's been just one good thing after another in the last week. So I'm really thankful. And the other thing is I was supposed to have some flyers printed out, but I ran kind of short on time. So I will get the people some flyers out. My first flyer stop will be on Alyssa's birthday, which is July 23rd. Anybody that's willing and able to come help me put out flyers, I don't care what day of the week it falls on, but that's going to be my first one where I go out in the community with flyers. Generally we do 4 teams, one in the north, one in the south, one in the east, one in the west, and I'm hoping this time we can continue this year with even more people helping us get the word out. We're going to go ahead and I do have a banner that's hanging in the trees right now. Everybody that comes to the events that we have and pray with us for Alyssa, I started asking you to sign on the back of the banner so that when Alyssa does come home, she can see how many prayers were prayed for her. The one thing I do ask, and I am going to allow people to sign the banner, I'm going to take it out the tree since most people are here, is I ask that you don't write where her face is, because as it's hanging now, I can see somebody's pushing hard on the markers, and it's starting to show through on her face. So that's the only thing. Be conscientious on the other side. Try to write in the middle, down at the bottom, but not where her face is. I'm very happy everybody's here. I'm super nervous right now. I'm so nervous. I'm literally shaking. So right now, what I'd like to do. Right now, what I want to do is I want to just kind of have an open mic. And I'm going to turn the mic over to Roxanne. I asked her to say some things, and I wasn't sure if she wanted to say them now or after open mic. And I think it's important that she says them now. After that, I want to have open mic. And during open mic, what I want my family to share their story. I want the Strong family to share their story. Lonnie's here somewhere. I want her to share her story. Because lately, it's been me everywhere, and people are looking like I'm the only person for Alyssa. Now they can look around and see I'm not the only person. She has family members. We all had a different relationship with her, and we've never had the opportunity to talk about it. And I believe I'm going to tell you what I know from my own experience. Talking about it really helps you heal, and it helps you to get out some of those feelings that I know we've been holding in for years. So as Roxanne comes to the mic and speaks, I want family members to start speaking or to start thinking about speaking and, sharing with the world your experiences like. Because I'm just one person, and I can't speak for everybody, and everybody has different feelings. Like I said, relationships, it affects everybody different. I'm going to turn the mic over to Roxanne. I'm going to ask you guys, like I said, to think about it, and we're going to come back to open mic when Roxanne is done. Thank you.
Tina, I know I can't tell she's shy. I remember Tina the first time she came up on a stage, had a mic in her hand, you could not hear her. I couldn't hear her. And several times after that, she would get the mic and she would do this. Hi, my name is Tina. So she's grown so much, I'm not even lying how proud I am of her because she did a majority of this. Anyways, my name is Roxanne White, and I am Yakima, Gros Ventre, Nez Perce, Nooksack. I grew up on the Yakima Indian Reservation, and I've been living here in Seattle for about 3.5 years. A little bit about me. My aunt was murdered in front of me in 1996. I'm also a survivor of human trafficking and abduction at the age of 4. Every kind of violence you can imagine, I've been through it, and I'm on the other side, and I'm here to support Tina and support other families and other sisters in this movement. Presently, I do some contract work with Innovations Human Trafficking Collaboratives out of Olympia, Washington. Jerry Muma, and I'm also a grassroots. I'm first grassroots, like to the core. That means that I'm an activist. That means that I'm going to do and stand anywhere I got to for my people, for equality and justice, for our Mother Earth, for our water, for our women, for our salmon, for our blackfish, our whales. I mean, you name it. But this particular epidemic right here, the movement of missing and murdered Indigenous women, is something that I feel that Creator has called me to do, and my ancestors, and it's an honor and a privilege to do this work. And it's not always easy, it's really emotional. And so, my drum family, Kyle, Sherbeck, and George, and all my family, without ceremony and without prayer, my family gets me through a lot, so I want to thank them for coming out and supporting this event and for bringing the songs and the drum. I want to thank all you for being here, And I also wanted to mention that we have Carolyn Ford here. She's another family. My family, Carolyn Ford's mother, Leona Kinsey's been missing since 1999. And she's coming up on 20 years. So hopefully you'll come up, Carolyn, and share a little. She also does a lot of this work. And so I remember when I met them both first during the Women's March in 2018. I got to meet Carolyn and Tina for the first time, like formally. Like kind of after that though, huh, Carolyn? But I've been able to do a few things, and you know, we're talking about different layers of this when it comes to missing and murdered Indigenous women. A lot of people don't know what this is about. A lot of people hear it and they don't really understand it. A lot of people want to say, so what is missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls? And what I have to say is that it's not just one thing, and it's not something that I can tell you all in like 3 minutes. So for the media that's here, I always get that question, so tell me what missing and murdered Indigenous women is, like, you know, the short version. There's no short version, because we're talking about so many layers: human trafficking, domestic violence, we're talking about homelessness, and all the issues that women are, Indigenous women are coming from. 71% of us live off the reservations and are in urban areas. Seattle being one of the highest places in the Washington state for missing and murdered Indigenous women, for missing women. So we're talking about demographics, databases that aren't up yet, that we still haven't established. There's all kinds of bills being passed all over Turtle Island, being written to bring some light and bring some justice for missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls. And I love what my sister Rachel said, because this epidemic does not just affect women, it also affects our brothers, our children, two-spirit and transgender. So this epidemic is multi-layered, and we have a long ways to go, but we're here and we're starting. And you know, something about if everybody read the Seattle Times or even seen it on this report for Alyssa, I'm going to tell you what a big deal that was. Me personally, I met Bettina Harris last year during the Women's March, and it was something to be, for them to want to know about missing and murdered Indigenous women. From that time to this, Seattle Times has worked with me, followed me on vigils over to Yakima with my family, with the Strong family. They've come over there, they've been to my Drum family, but the main thing is that they're taking a serious interest in shedding light to this subject. So from then to now, Alyssa's story making Seattle Times front page news, that was historical. That was huge. And I want to thank Bettina. Yes. I want to thank her, because she really fought for this. She worked hard for this. And I know she's going to say she didn't do it alone. But it takes people like that. It takes people to really connect, to really see that we have an issue here. We have women and girls and people, human beings, that nothing's happening. Nothing's being done. Nothing's being said. I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing if there was equality. If that justice was for all people of color. It wouldn't matter if you were white, if you were Wall Street, if you worked for Amazon, or if you were from the hood or the res. It shouldn't matter. But the way things are, it does matter. And we have to break those stereotypes, and Seattle Times has been helping us do that. This has never been about one person, one family, one thing, not even me. In this entire time that I've been doing this, it has been about sending reporters, sending journalists to talk to families like Carolyn. I'm a family, but I know where my aunt is. She's in the ground, and there's nothing that can bring her back. But what I get to do today is like be that voice. Because when she was shot and murdered, I didn't get to testify. I didn't get to write a statement. I didn't get to go to court and sit on trial. I didn't get to do any of that. because they decided that she wasn't worth any of that. That they were just going to sentence the person that shot her for second-degree manslaughter. When does that happen? But when it's black on black, native on native, and this is the truth, there's not the same justice. If it would have been the other way around, if I would have shot somebody and I would have killed them, I wouldn't be standing here right now. That's for sure. So there's an inequality and an imbalance, and we all know it. We all know it, and there's nothing wrong with calling it out. Most media, mainstream media, cover white people, white girls, HLN, and I'm really grateful, and this is one thing I'm super excited for, is because it's heartbreaking work, A lot of times I'll be talking to families, trying to help them, trying to connect them, trying to get something happening for them, to give them hope, because I hear the desperation in their voices when their loved one's missing. There's families all over the United States, First Nations, Alaska, that don't know what to do, don't have anybody to turn to. The police, the law enforcement, nobody's talking to them. They're not seeing it in the local news. And so today, CNN is in here. CNN came all the way over here to cover a story about a missing Indigenous, African American, Alaskan Aleut woman. And they also came to interview and talk to my cousins for Lucinda Strong. So this is big news, because I don't know about you, but I would like to see, have you ever seen CNN cover a black person or a native person on HLN or any of that? CNN? Raise your hand. Okay, so that is why, days ago I was shedding tears. I was shedding tears when me and Sarah talked. And this is how your God works, my God, creator, whatever you want to call him, but this is how this entity and this force works. Because when I talked to this lady, she said, I got past this case because I was actually contacting them for a family out of Aneth, Utah. There was a 4-year-old girl that went missing on March 14th, and the family was from a small reservation over there in the Navajo reservation. And this family was like, we need help. And I was like, man, we need CNN. We need HLN to cover this story, because this little girl's missing. We don't know if she's been abducted. We don't know where she's at. If HLN or CNN could cover this story, this would give hope to this family. And by the time Sarah contacted me the night before, they found the baby deceased. That really hurt. But even through the storms, there's like these after the storm, there's like these beautiful rainbows. And that was the beautiful rainbow. At the end of all of that, CNN still came down here for Alyssa and Lucinda. And that is a big deal. So clap your hands for CNN for being here. I'm going to hold them up. I'm going to hold them accountable. Let's hold them accountable. All you media, to tell the story in a good light. To hold our sisters up as women, as mothers, as daughters, as teachers, as granddaughters. Not prostitutes, not drunks, not criminals, not gang members, not any of that. Because before all of that, they're our family. They're missed by us, and they're human beings. And the stereotypes. Stop stereotyping us and categorizing us other than human. We all deserve to be looked for. We all deserve to have the same justice. And so that's what this work is about for me. I want to say that it is a big deal for us to be here today and to have this kind of coverage. Let's pray for these media people. Let's pray for them when they go back to their main offices, and when their editors and their bosses and the higher-ups look at these stories. Let's pray that they look at these stories and they see human beings. And they see people that are missing their families, and they want to cover those stories and get them out there because it's the right thing to do. It's the right thing to do. It's what you do every day. I see it on all these Como 13, Q 13, whatever. I see the stories go up, but I don't see my sister. I don't see my cousin. I don't see Alyssa. Start covering our stories. Start talking about our missing. That's what we're here to do, and I'm not even saying that. I'm not here saying that to down you guys or anything, but I'm just saying that coming from me, like from us, like that lonely feeling that we could feel as a community, because we don't just go. I mean, when an indigenous woman goes missing, and this makes all the sense. She doesn't just first go missing with her family at her home, at the table, in her house, in ceremony, whatever, at her work, in her community, but then she goes missing to the entire world because nobody knows, because it ain't going up anywhere. So today I'm just saying, it's a good day because you guys are all here. It's a good day because all these cameras are here. This isn't just a sexy topic. Don't sensationalize this also, because there's countless families. There's Shekiah Harding over in Billings. There's so many other families, even in this area. We have so many missing. I mean, I can't even think right now, but I can give you a list. You can find the list. We have lists. We've created lists. You can find the data with Anita Lucchese. There's ways of finding out how many missing there are. We're at the beginning stages of this, but together on a grassroots level, I believe that we've been an intricate piece of this. There's a lot of people that, oh yeah, it's cool to wear red. Yeah, we're gonna show up now because I get to wear my red and I get to do this, but this is more than that. Don't come here fronting and then don't come to support the families. That's what I say, because if it was a march today, downtown Seattle, there'd be hundreds of people wearing red. But today is an important day because these families are here and they need to feel the love. They need to feel the support because they're the ones that go through this day in, day out. So that's all I have to say. Thank you for letting me speak.
Thank you, Roxanne. So as promised, hey Darius, how far away from we from Fiji?
Probably like.
Oh, hands up to the
Hold on 1 second. It's almost done.
How many?
It's almost done.
Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna have a little bit of open mic before lunch, and then I'll open up it again after lunch. My mother did just get here. Do you want to speak, Mom? Or do you just want to relax for a minute? I think it's kind of overwhelming for her, and I could be speaking for her wrongly, but I'm overwhelmed. Like, this is so awesome. I've never felt this much love from everybody, so.
I'd really like to thank everybody for being here. When I was reading the poster on Facebook, they talked about, Alyssa being a granddaughter. And Alyssa has a 99-year-old great-grandma, that also prays each and every day for her return. Her daughter is having a really, really difficult time. There was no way she could be here. And I understand because this is really hard for me. I rejoice in all that everyone is doing to make people aware of our missing women and men. One thing, this is a fairly new movement And when I went to Standing Rock, I had my little t-shirt that I have on today, and there were two people who even acknowledged the shirt, and one was the little Japanese guy doing the chakra, and another was another reporter who was just talking to random people and asked if they could pray with me for a minute to help her return. And you know, I can walk into Walmart or Target, and you know, people will acknowledge it and ask if they can say a little prayer. And you know, a lot of times people don't know how much that means to us. I can't even comprehend that it's been 10 years. I raised Alyssa from the time she was born. You know, and she was raised in AA, and she did not drink or use any drugs for a very long time. You know, and we all have our moments, and I'm thankful to so many of the people I see here that have been here at our memorials since the very first. And I'm sorry I was kind of late, but I love and appreciate everybody here.
All right, thank you, Mommy. The mic is open. Anybody want to share a story? If you want to share a story and there's somebody already speaking, I'm going to ask people to start lining up over here.